Good morning, children. Today, let's study lesson 4.5, The Old Man and the Sea book review. The text type is review. So book reviews, they usually offer an insight into whether or not a book is genuinely worth reading. In other words, it guides the reader. It tells the reader whether the book is of his or her interest. A book review describes, analyzes, and evaluates. A review always conveys an opinion, but this opinion is supported with evidence from the book. One such book review we are going to read on the book The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. Children, I hope that you all have gone through the story, because unless you read the story, you will not understand this book review. If you haven't, then please read the story first, and then you can go through the video. Let's begin with the book review. The Old Man and the Sea book review. You can see the cover page of the book, The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. And the book is the winner of the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction. Children, let's begin with the first paragraph, which tells us the story in short. An old and experienced Cuban fisherman has a run of terrible bad luck and is unable to catch any fish for 84 days. So, children, you have already read the story, and you know that this old and experienced Cuban fisherman is Santiago, who is experiencing a bad phase in his life and is experiencing terrible bad luck. He is unlucky as he is unable to catch a single fish for 84 days. His young and devoted apprentice Manolin has been forced by his parents to start working with another fisherman. So he has an apprentice. Apprentice is a person who works for another in order to learn a trade. So this Manolin is training himself for fishing, to learn the techniques of fishing under Santiago. Now, because Santiago is unlucky and is unable to catch a single fish for 84 days, Manolin's parents are forcing Manolin that he should leave Santiago and he should take training for fishing under some other fishermen. The old man resolves to sail out farther than all the other fishermen and attempt to catch the really big fish. The old man, that is Santiago, is very hurt with the behavior of other fishermen, and therefore the old man decides that as compared to other fishermen, he would sail deeper into the sea and he would make an attempt. He would make an effort to catch a big fish. On the 85th day, he succeeds and he is successful. The old man is successful on 85th day in hooking a marlin with his bait. And he hooks a marlin, he catches a marlin with his bait. Bait is a hook or trap to attract and catch fish. But the marlin is too strong for him and starts pulling the boat. But this marlin, which is the largest fish in the ocean, the most beautiful fish in the ocean, is so strong that it starts pulling the boat of Santiago. The Old Man and the Sea is the story of the old man's struggle with the marlin and the later battle against the shark. So it is very difficult and it is very tough for the old man Santiago to fight with the marlin. If you have read the story, you know that it is a very tough fight between marlin and Santiago. It's a struggle with the marlin, and the old man has to struggle, has to fight with the sharks also, who are attracted towards the marlin's blood and they want to eat away the marlin. So It's a fight, the old man's fight with marlin and sharks. So children, this is the story in short. Now, a book review will always give you um, an incomplete story of the book. They never reveal to you the climax of the story, as it is done in this first paragraph. It only arises in you interest in order to read the book. Now, let's go to the next paragraph and let's understand the social and historical context of the story. In this paragraph, the reviewer tells us about the social and historical context of the novel. Context means background, setting of the novel. Let's read it. Hemingway's novel is based on real events and it also draws heavily on his own life. So, if you read the novel The Old Man and the Sea, you will understand that Hemingway has made use of real events. Along with it, the novel draws heavily means makes use of various situations and experiences which took place in the life of Hemingway. He had experience of fishing in the Cuban waters, and like the old man, he was also a fan of baseball. Now, Hemingway had an experience of fishing in Cuban waters. Similarly, in the novel, you find that the old man Santiago was also an experienced fisherman in Cuban waters. Along with it, when you read the novel, you come to know that the old man was a fan of baseball. And in real life, Hemingway was also a fan of baseball. He worked for the Red Cross during First World War and was injured by shrapnel when he was in Italy. So Hemingway was working for Red Cross organization which provides emergency assistance, disaster relief and disaster preparedness. And he was an ambulance driver. If you remember children, in the information which I had given you in warming up about Hemingway, you might have read over there that he was an ambulance driver during the First World War. And during that time, on his duty, he was injured by a shrapnel. Now, they have given you the meaning of shrapnel here, but shrapnel means fragments which are released from bombs or shells or other objects after an explosion. So he was injured by a shrapnel when he was in Italy. Hemingway always talks about the need to struggle against defeat or death and how determination and endurance can help one to win in this struggle. So, if you have ever read Hemingway, he always is the supporter, or he always talks, he always um, tells people that one needs to struggle in life, one needs to fight it out in life, fight against defeat, fight against failures, fight against death. If you have read the information about Hemingway, he was injured very badly and he gave a tough fight against death. So he is of the opinion that one needs to fight it out against defeat or death. And he also believes that determination and endurance. Determination means firmness of purpose, firm on your goals, along with endurance. Endurance means tolerance, perseverance, can help one to win in this struggle. So if you want to win defeat, if you want to win death, then you have to fight it out. And this you can achieve by determination and endurance. The old man is at the end of the novel very near death, but we know that the story of his suffering and loss will live on in the memories of the people of his village. So, even in this novel, the old man Santiago is towards the end of the novel. He is very near death. He is on his deathbed because he is injured so badly. But, and of course, his story is also of suffering and loss throughout his life. The old man suffered. Along with it, he also was at loss. He was not able to catch a single fish for 84 days. And on 85th day, when he caught this large fish marlin, sharks attacked, and finally he was not able to bring back the whole large marlin back to the shore to show the people. But still, he did not accept defeat. He gave a very tough fight. And therefore, the reviewer says that this tough fight will definitely live on in the memories. People of his village will always remember his story of suffering and loss. Ultimately, his story becomes one of triumph. Triumph means great victory and achievement, because the tales of his life will live on even after his death. Though this old man Santiago would die, but the tales of his adventure will always be remembered by the people of his village. The novel was published in 1952 when people were trying to recover from the mass destruction brought by the two world wars. So this novel, The Old Man and the Sea, was published in 1952 when people were brought a lot of destruction, mass destruction was caused due to two world wars, and people were just recovering because people had lost their properties, they had lost their near and dear ones, and there was a lot of devastation everywhere. And people were recovering. During that time, this novel was published, and it was an inspiration. This novel became an inspiration. And this tale of endurance and ultimate triumph, the tale of endurance of this old man, along with ultimate triumph, the final achievement which he got, immediately struck chord with the readers. So when the readers read this story, The Old Man and the Sea, they could struck a chord, they could connect, they were so impressed, they were inspired by this novel. Now let's go to the next video and read further.